Hello guys, welcome back to the my HTML tutorial. This is session 12. In the previous session, we learned about HTML form, label and input type of text. In this session, we are going to learn about input type of password and email. HTML password field control. Normally, when you fill the form, you can see your filling data, but password is sensitive data. What if someone will know your password? Then, in that case, they will misuse your credential and they can access your details like bank account details or your education history and whatever it is. So, we will use password field control. The password is not visible to the user in password field control if we will use input type as password. It will simply write dot sign on the text box or the asterisk sign on the screen. HTML5 email field control. The email field is new in HTML5. It validates the text for correct email address. You must use and period sign in this field. HTML5 introduced field con- uh, a special control that is known as email control. In this case, we don't need to explicitly validate the input. Browser will do it for us if we will just use input type as email. If we not enter valid email address, then it will display error message. Error message would be like this. Please include an @ in the email address. For example @gmail.com. This is an valid email address. That's it about the presentation. Let's move to the code editor so we can take all these things in action. I'm going to continue the previous code so that we can design a registration pay form at the end of this session. If I will run this document on live server, you may see the previous code. We have one field here with first name, label and the respective text box where user can enter his or her first name, and I added a button which is type of submit. This button will submit the data into the server. I am going to add one label for email ID, and I am giving label value email ID. Input type is equal to I'm giving text, then I will change to the email so that we can differentiate between email and the text. Name is equal to email ID, ID is equal to email ID, email ID, email ID. Okay. I am going to press P. Let's remove this button from this place and add at the end. Okay, have a look at the browser. Now we have one field for first name and another field for the email ID. But this time I used text type. If I am submitting this form, I made this field as required, so I can't skip this field. If I am adding some value, then I can submit this form. Yeah, but again fill the form Shakil and Ansari. As you may see here, first name is the valid. First name can be anything, but the email address cannot be only Ansari. It should also the basic structure of the email is it must include @ and the period sign. But I am not adding anything. I am just written the simple text and I am submitting this form. This form accepted my value, but it should validate, so that I am going to change its type to email. Again I am going to fill the same data, Shakil and Ansari. As you may see here, I filled the data, but it is saying it is because it is validating, and it is saying please include an @ in the email address. Ansari is missing an @. Okay, if I will add this @ sign and the gmail.com, then it won't show any error. It accepted my data successfully. Let's make this field also required so that end user cannot skip this. Now I am going to add one label for password field. Okay. Now I am going to add one more input. Type is equal to text, name is equal to password, ID is equal to password, and I am making required. Okay, let's see the difference. Sorry, I need to use BR to write this into the new line. Yeah, it looks better. We have three fields: first name, email ID, and the password. I made all this field required. So I am going to write Shakil. Now I done with the email address ansari@gmail.com. I made it required. It is showing an error because I not entered any value. If I am adding my password abc@123, I want to choose this abc@123 as a password. But what if someone is looking on my screen? He will be able to see my credential, this email address and the password. After some time he will use my credential, and whatever he want can make changes in that website or the application. So we have another type of input control, that is password, to protect from the other user. So whenever I will enter the details, and I am again adding the same value abc@123, but now what I entered no one cannot know, because I used input type as a password and it is writing dot sign for the each character. Okay, if I will submit this form, then my document, then this form would be submitted successfully. As you may see here, for the password field, it is taking ABC at the rate. For at the rate, it is using 40 and the A123. But it is not visible on the screen. It written dot sign for the each character in case of I am using password type of input. We will format it in the upcoming video so that it will look like a registration page. Guys, if you think this video is helpful for you, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel if you not subscribed yet. And don't forget to share with your friend. Thank you for watching.